Well, we're back, 10:45 here. It's called Alchemy Experience, and it's designed to foster deep, insightful conversations on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Topics that are important to everyone. This month's experience will feature best-selling author Minda Harts. Today, Minda will speak with a group of women leaders from the Houston community. And she's here with us in the studio right now.
Minda, thank you so much for taking time to come and chat with us. We want to know all about the Alchemy Experience, why you decided to partner with what this means for you.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be in Houston. And it's really important because the Alchemy Group is led by consultants Arquella Hargrove and Yvonne Harris, and they really want to provide a soft place for women to land, a community that you can celebrate your wins, and then if you have some losses, you can have somebody there to pick you up. And all of my books that I've written, I have 3 out in the world, and they're all soft places for women to land. So this was a no-brainer for me to be here tonight.
So is that the topic then for today, soft places to land?
The topic is how to be right within. So creating those soft spaces to land, because sometimes we know that we might be at work or out in the community and certain things happen, those macro aggressions and things of the sort. So how do you navigate those moments? How do you navigate those difficult conversations? And so we're going to be talking about all those sorts of things tonight.
That's so incredible. And I can't imagine, the time and the love and the energy that goes into putting this book together, to put it out into the world. What kind of inspired you behind all of this to do it?
Right. Well, I know it might sound kind of nerdy, but I am a career book writer. And so, but what I like to do is incorporate pop culture into it. And Right Within was really inspired by, people might remember Lauryn Hill's song, Doo Wop, How You Gonna Win If You Ain't Right Within? And I often say we can't control what other people are doing in the workplace, but we can control our well-being. We can control if we're having the conversations or asking for more. And so I just provide those practical ways for women to be able to do that for themselves in the work environment.
You talked about some macro aggressions. What are some examples of those that you might experience in life?
Yeah, sometimes in the workplace, again, they might be intentional, might be unintentional, but I think it's important that we may not have intended to harm someone in the workplace, but the impact might be that. So I think acknowledging that when we make a misstep, we apologize and say, how do we remove a barrier for someone? So for example, if you're a woman of color, you might have your hair, right? Maybe one day you might wear braids, another day might be blowout, and so someone might touch your hair. I know I was in corporate America for 15 years, and I used to have a colleague who would always come by and touch my hair and be like, wait a second, that shouldn't be. You can like my hair, but you don't have to touch it, right? So those are depending on how you look at it, a micro or a macro aggression, and I think that we just have to be aware and humanize everyone's experience at work.
Yeah. What has it been, the reception from everyone, and being out to go into the communities to be able to talk with people? What is that like?
For the first time that people feel seen in ways that maybe you're not able to talk about it. So the hair example, when I was in corporate, I never, I didn't go to HR and say, someone's touching my hair. You just kind of sweep things under the rug. And so me writing about some of the things that we don't often talk about, it provides, again, a soft place for people to land, to feel seen, right? To say, oh, okay, I didn't create that in my mind. That did happen. I don't have to ignore that, right? I can acknowledge it. And so my first book was The Memo, and my second book is Right Within. And then I wrote a young adult book called You Are More Than Magic. And it just allows for people to be seen and build community and be able to read your stories in a career context.
A lot of times we think of a corporation as some entity that's not viable in the sense that you can grab it or touch it, but companies are people.
Yes.
And it requires, I guess, all people to speak up in those cases, right? It takes a chorus of voices to make these changes.
Absolutely. Our success in the workplace is not a solo sport. We need those allies. We need people to understand what the experiences are of people who may not identify the same way, so that we can help them. Because I think at the end of the day, we all just want to do our best work, right? And so being able to remove barriers for people starts with us acknowledging that some of these things happen. They may not happen to you, but they might happen to someone you work with, right?
Such an important.
I feel like those lessons we could bring to the Thanksgiving dinner table. We need a little bit of this.
How do we get more information, Minda? Where, if people are watching, I'm sure this resonates with so many people. Where can they find out more?
Yeah, so definitely check out the Alchemy Group, but also if you're interested in my books or inviting me in, I do a lot of company talks, mindaharts.com.
Beautiful. We know the event's sold out, so obviously it's doing well. And unfortunately, you won't be able to join her to the live. You don't have a ticket already while she's in town. But
next time.
Next time. For
There you
sure.
go.
Thanks for coming in. Really appreciate your time. It's great to meet you.
Thanks, Minda.
All right, we've got more right after this on KPRC2 News Today at 10.
Download